Hello everyone, welcome to this panel discussion. This time we have wonderful panelists with all of us, and this episode number 4 of this panel discussion is related to SDG 13, that is climate action. So I want to start this session, and before starting this session, I want to tell you this is completely on the basis of research surveys which we do for our panel discussions. So this is again episode number 4 of this research survey. All the queries which we get from teachers are, answered by experienced panelists. They give wonderful solutions to all the queries. Our respected panelists are Dr. Nisha, an educator, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam awardee, AIF resource person. Ms. Suruchi, an educator from DPS Gurgaon, AIF resource person. And of course, Ms. Veena Rai Singh, an educator from Delhi Public School, Bhopal, AIF master trainer. So let's start with today's topic, that is SDG 13, climate action. Now, when we are dealing with an education field, we all are educators here. So we are looking forward for how education system can help to raise awareness about SDG 13, that is climate action, and making our students aware about this SDG. So I would like to start my question round from Dr. Nisha. And the very first question of this panel discussion is, what is SDG 13 and what are the main objectives of SDG 13?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to speak on a very important topic, that is SDG 13. As we all know, SDG 13 stands for Sustainable Development Goal number 13, which is one of the 17 goals set by the United Nations in 2015. The focus of SDG 13 is climate action, and it aims to combat the climate change and its impact through various measures. The core target of SDG 13 are strengthening the ability of countries to deal with impact of climate change. That is adaptation strategies, improving education awareness and human and institutional capacity on climate change, mitigation, adaptation, and early warning system. So, climate action should be embedded in national development plans, policies, and strategies across all these sectors, whether it is an education sector or energy, agriculture, transport, which ensures that climate change mitigation and adaptation are considered at the core of development decision and investment. Climate change also, the objective of the climate change is also to improve the education awareness and human institutional capacity on climate change. Implementation, the commitment of the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement, which is adopted in 2015, is a legal binding international treaty which aimed at the limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. So overall, this SDG goal targets about these factors which mobilize financial resources for climate action, enhance the capacity of developing countries to address this climate change. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Wonderful. So we have started with a very, warm up question. It is basically what we are doing and why we all are here and what is this SDG 13. And of course, this is something which is really important that we should inculcate in our students, in in schools, in our education system, so that they, as a future citizens of the country, should contribute to this goal. So my next question is for Ms. Suruchi, that why is climate education important? What do you feel? Let's put some light on it. Kindly unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity, Artima. Climate education is important so that we know the impact of changes which are going on around us, and we do not have an answer at times. And we also have the methods to address the change, to combat the change, because we are nowadays experiencing a lot of weather changes, a very frequent change, which are unexplainable by certain people. I mean, if you're not very aware about the topography, you're not aware about the season, I mean, not very educated, then we are not able to answer such questions on our own. So it's very important that we know, we are getting aware about climate change, and we know the methods to mitigate it.
True. So, see, when we know about any topic, when we have efficient knowledge about that topic, then only we can talk about that topic. So, the idea here for climate education is to make the students aware about this. Then only they can contribute to this. Okay, now I'm quickly going to the next question, that is for Miss Veena, that what are the effective ways to raise awareness about climatic changes? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, all. Yes, I would like to answer this question. See, raising awareness about the climate change and then taking care of it can be done at various ends. Like, first is at home. As a mother, as a parent, we have a great role to play, like talking to the kids about not wasting food, about saving water, about saving electricity, about pool transport whenever possible, reusing clothes, and recycling things which can be recycled. So this is at the home end which we can take care. Talking about the school, like as a teacher, what role do we have to play in making students aware about this climate change and our role in ensuring that how we can take care of the climate? That is through the projects. Various projects can be planned. It can be in the form of like having a poster competition. It can be in the form of, say, a field trip, so that can be taken. Talking about the visual, like we as a teacher can show certain documentaries where the climate change and the action to be taken can be like discussed, and it can be like people, students can be know about it, right? So talking about the like different things which are there in nowadays, like at the technical, as a technical or social media which is also there, which is actually nowadays talking a lot about this. So there are interactive apps. You get to know like how much you as an individual you have created carbon footprints. So all those things can be taken care. In the school we can also have community engagements, like uh, partnering with the NGO, and then children going to certain places and making people aware, so they themselves are getting aware and then they are spreading the education to the community. Talking about like they can also voice their requirements, or this whatever the education has to be done, they can also voice the problems to the policy makers. So writing a letter can be encouraged by the students. So there are these are the different ways in which we can actually encourage students to see or be get aware about the climate change.
Wonderful, well said, ma'am. And I recall that quote that mother is the first teacher of the child. So when we are
Correct.
inculcating the things right from home, we won't be able to rely more on education system, more on teachers, because we are something as a moral value is inculcating in our child as well on our individual level. So that is a wonderful input which I feel that we all should take care of. As a mother, as a teacher, we need to understand the time of the need. And apart from that, various activities, we are a lot much talking about this art integration, and it is more into these kind of projects only. So yes, art integration is another way. And one more question is coming into my mind when I'm talking about this effective ways is how to motivate teachers to learn all the SDGs. How I can motivate teachers to learn all the SDGs and inculcate the same in students. I hope you all agree with me that the moment teacher learn about various new topics, then only they can give, or then they can give that outcome. If they have a particular objective in hand, they need to read or learn or understand that objective first, and then they can talk about that objective to give that particular outcome. So my question is for all of you out here is how to motivate teachers to.
A very easy way, a very impactful way of motivating a teacher to learn SDGs would be inculcating the same in their lesson plan. When they are planning for the lesson, a particular topic can be aligned to the SDG, which particular SDG we are taking up in that particular topic. So, integration of a particular SDG in a topic would be a very impactful way of learning by doing. I mean, a teacher is taking up the topic in the class, and the children themselves know how, in what way the topic is important and how is it related to the sustainable development goals. Similarly, when
Hmm.
the
Like,
teacher is taking up the climate action or
yeah.
the climate change she's talking about, the very first thing is to start with the online, the shift of offline to online mode to hybrid mode, the blended learning that we're talking about nowadays. So children are very eager to know, why are we shifting every time? How come, ma'am, up at your level it was when you were young, nothing of this sort happened, but why in our times you are facing such climatic changes? So you can start with communication, and that is the very first step when you're talking about something and you relate it to your own story. The children are really eager to know about this and they take interest, and they also are very keen to tell you new ways of combating the change. They come up with several new ideas which we might not have thought of.
True, true.
Yeah, very true. Like even I would like to add here, like associating the climate action. Like right now we are talking about climate change and the action. So associating this topic with the different subjects according to their requirements. Like in English, it is comprehension, which I have seen at times. The paragraphs are there based on the changes which are taking place or water scarcity, like that. So and then comprehension based question are being put up. In geography, we have complete understanding of the concept. Why the global warming? What is global warming? Why it is happening?